Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
Let me first say, Twin Peaks, I've missed you. Yes, that is right. We have not been sitting here in Twin Peaks for 3 Wednesdays ago was our last visit because of the holidays. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Wednesday edition live from Twin Peaks. We've been gone. Obviously, Christmas and New Year's this year both fell on Wednesday, so we have been gone from our fun Wednesday location, but we'll tell you all about what is going on. Matter of fact, Wednesday, among a bunch of specials you can swing by on your way home from work. We're at the intersection of Kernan and Atlantic. How about this? $4.50, $4.50, dirty blonde, naughty brunette, drop dead redhead. Now that's their draft, some of their draft names. $4.50, 22 ounces of that. Great specials every single day of the week. We'll tell you as we go all the stuff, including tremendous lunch combo here Monday through Friday, 11 to 3. Their standard lunch combo, $9.69. You figure that out. Get you a tremendous lunch combo here at Twin Peaks, our Wednesday home. I think I hear, is that Patrick Young stirring around or is that Rock? Who's stirring around there? Hey, sounds like a little cat. Sounds like a cat stirring around there, Patrick Young. What are you doing? What are you doing? Pat, we're trying to get you up there. We got the interview. You're damn sure not a volunteer. They are in hibernation right now. Patrick Young joins us, of course, here on the Young and Norvelle Show on a Wednesday. Pat, you're still in Charlotte, right? You still have work to do tonight with the SEC? Oh, nice. You got tonight. You sound tired, man. Late night?
No, which is never a bad idea.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
You had a busy Tuesday night of SEC basketball to break down, and obviously, Patrick, I don't think you saw what happened coming. I didn't see what happened coming in Gainesville. My goodness, Patrick, you and I have been around a long time. We've seen a lot of sporting events. We've seen a lot of whoopings. That was about as thorough an ass whipping last night in Gainesville. Florida beat the number 1 ranked Vols by 30, Patrick. 30.
Yeah, they had 15 points in the first half.
It was 34-15 if you missed the game.
And really, like 9 of their points were garbage time points, too.
Really are. Really were. Patrick, you watched it. I watched it. I mean, that was Tennessee never made a run.
No.
Not one time. What a thorough ass whipping that was last night, administered by the Gators.
Yeah, I kept holding my breath because I was expecting a run. They're going to wake up, at some point.
Yeah.
But they just bottled up Chaz Lanier.
Oh, what a night. What a bad night.
He's a stud. He had a terrible game.
Oh, my God. What he finished? I've got his numbers. He finished 3 of 16 from the field, 1 of 9 from 3-point. And I want to be honest, that was the first time, even though he played at UNF, and he was a great player at UNF, he portaled to Tennessee. That was the first time I really watched him. Patrick, you could tell a guy can shoot. You could just sometimes the way they receive the ball, the way they spot up, the way they release the ball. They weren't going in last night. That guy can shoot. He's a shooter. You can tell.
Yeah. It sucks. I don't think Florida goes to play Tennessee.
No,
they might. I know they don't play Kentucky twice. I know that for sure.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They do play Tennessee in Knoxville. Yes.
Oh, they do. Okay, good.
They do not play a second game with Kentucky the way the schedule worked out because of the expansion. Patrick, how about this stat? Florida beats Tennessee last night, number 1 team in the nation. The last unbeaten team, Florida beats them by 30, right? 30. The leading scorer for the Gators on the season, Walker Clayton, he had 9. He had 7 or 9. Well, he had 7 points last night, the leading scorer for the Gators, and they still win by 30. How does that happen?
Denzel Aberdeen.
Wow, what a game he had.
He just comes in, and I think his role, take care of the ball and just go score.
He had a great game.
if you see you have an opportunity, because there's a few possessions where he just like you could tell, oh, he's not passing.
He created.
He's going to create a shot. He's getting to the rim,
Yeah.
and then Elijah Martin, obviously, and it's big time.
Yeah, totally agree. I don't know if we lost you there for a second, Pat. Speaking of Elijah Martin, Jimmy Dykes said something last night, or no, it was Carl Ravitch, actually, the play-by-play guy last night, that said something I thought was very apparent now as we are starting the January swing in college basketball. This year's Florida basketball team is starting to really take on Elijah Martin's personality. I know he's a new guy, but he's tough, he's strong, and that was maybe something that Florida was lacking last year. I thought that was a great comment last night by Carl Ravitch that Florida's team is taking on Elijah Martin's, and that's a real good thing, by the way, to take on his personality.
He's tough, man.
And his toughness. And his toughness. Pat, here's another stat that blows me away. Speaking of Walter Clayton Jr., the leading scorer for the Gators, he's a scoring machine. You realize his 2 years at Florida, his high point total is 33. He got 33 in 2 games as a Gator, last year and this year. He scored 33 points last year in the NCAA tournament loss to Colorado, and he scored 33 points last Saturday in the 106-100 loss to Kentucky. How about Clayton's 2 high-scoring games were both losses, and last night he scores 7, and they win over the number 1 team by 30, Patrick. Sports are crazy.
That's great, man. It just shows you, he has this Florida team has depth.
Really does.
And guys that aren't afraid to shoot. And I don't think Walt was forcing his game, seeing that it wasn't, amazing. He hit his first 3, so he kept his streak alive.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to beat Lee Humphrey there. I think he's 3 games away. From Mike Frazier.
Mike
Frazier's got the record.
Consecutive games, 3. Yeah.
But how about this? Florida is the only school ever to beat the number 1 team in basketball by 30 points and in football by 30 points.
How's that?
Beat Florida State. I think it was 1982 or 85 or something like that. Florida beat Florida State.
96.
52-20.
National championship game. 96.
52-20. Nice. There you go.
Yeah. And then last night, only school to ever beat a number 1 team by 30 or more in both basketball. Wow. That's a hell of a stat.
And obviously it's a lot harder to do in football.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Speaking of weird stats, last night's box score, you have to rub your eyes, particularly on the Tennessee side. It was amazing how bad Tennessee. Now Florida was a lot to blame for that. How bad Tennessee played. Patrick, for the game, Tennessee was 4 of 29 from the 3-point line. They were 0 of 14 in the first half from the 3-point line. I mean, some of these numbers are just, you can't believe. Florida out-rebounded Tennessee last night, and Tennessee is a big physical team. Florida out-rebounded Tennessee 55-38, Patrick. 55-30. Unheard of.
I mean, Florida's one of the best, if not the best team on offensive rebounds, man.
Really
they come to the glass. They get those second chance opportunities. It's deflating for a defense.
Oh,
that one possession can be a minute long because you're not getting on the glass.
And Florida now has set their rotation. They play 8 guys. They start 5 and they bring 3 off the bench. Right? That's their rotation. They're an 8-deep team. Yeah, they got 4 bigs that rotate in a couple spots. Their backcourt, they bring Aberdeen off the bench, but then their backcourt can kind of, in a pinch, obviously Clayton runs your offense. Aberdeen gives him a blow. In a pinch, Martin could run a little bit of point here and there. Hell, Richard could run a little bit of point. That's their team, right, Patrick? I'm telling you.
I think so.
Last night, I don't know if I've seen many games like this. Last night, in my humble opinion, all 8 players that played for Florida, nobody had a bad game. All 8 guys had, including your 3 bench guys, Alexis, Houck, and Aberdeen. Everybody had a good game. There wasn't one guy that played minutes for Florida that you went, he had a tough 6 minutes.
Well,
Nobody.
Walt, it was tough on Walt getting 2 fouls early.
Yeah.
That's probably the only. But then that's why you have Denzel Aberdeen coming off the bench to
Yeah.
bring that offense in right away.
Were you surprised that Golden put Clayton back in with 2 fouls still in the first
No,
half? Scared the hell out of me.
no, because as analytics, he doesn't believe in
Yeah.
saving a guy for later.
Yeah. Scared me, man.
It's like your minutes are just as important now as they would be later in the game.
Yeah. Scared me though, man. Scared the heck out of me. And then he had a run from behind block on Lanier when Lanier thought he had a
Yeah, that
open
was.
three.
I think that shook Lanier a lot.
I agree. I was worried they were going to call. He got him on the wrist. I don't think he got him on the hand at all. I was worried there was going to be a quick whistle there for number 3. Scared the hell out of me. Hey, I want to ask you about a big man. You played so much big man basketball, obviously. I thought last night Condon, when he got the ball, he was decisive. I think there's times he doesn't go quick enough. Last night he got the ball and
Yes, there are times exactly.
He either got rid of the ball or he made a move. I think Condon is a little timid with a great game. I think he's got a great game, but he's a little timid. Last night, he was quick to make his decision. I thought that was key. He had a great game.
Yeah, you're dead on. That's exactly what it is. He doesn't always go very fast because he's a great counter move guy. But sometimes you don't need to counter move. Sometimes just you get it and you go straight up. You can still pump fake. I think pump fakes are great, especially when you're near the rim because it messes up the timing
Yeah.
of someone that's trying to block your shot. But catch, turn, shoot,
Yeah. Or get rid of it. Or get rid
or
of
get
it.
rid of it. Either one.
Yeah. Or
Absolutely.
get rid of it. Boy, he was very decisive last night. He had a great game. Houck had a great game off the bench. Alexis came in and gave you good minutes. It was that. Would you agree though, Pat? That was as good an ass whooping as I've seen in a long time. In any, I mean, they whooped them from the opening tip. Oh, Pat, we lose you?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
like kept and it's so funny. I didn't realize I was gonna be here with Ron Slay.
You know, you told me thought you were working with Damien.
Yeah, I thought I was working with Damien. It was only perfect that I was with Ron.
I know. How'd he take
And
it?
I learned something interesting about Ron. The reason that he took so much pride in playing against the Gators is because his freshman year, apparently, against the Gators, and I think they won, is the only game he didn't score in college.
How about that?
So he made sure the rest of his career, whenever he took Gators on, he was going to give it to him.
How about that? How about that? I remember Slay well. He was not the most talented guy going, but man, he was a worker. Oh, was he a hard worker? Played hard, and didn't give any ground to anybody. One of those guys. Played hard. Played really, really hard. Hey, Pat, during the game last night, watching Florida, Tennessee, like a lot of people probably, I was switching over to watch Georgia, Kentucky. The Bulldogs hosted Kentucky. Kentucky coming off a 106-point outburst against Florida and a win. Georgia kind of beat Kentucky, kind of not quite as bad, but Georgia dominated Kentucky last night from opening tip. Did that surprise you?
It surprised me that they withstood every
Yes.
Kentucky run.
Yes.
Because Kentucky did have some runs and plays here and there. But, Mike White's had a lot of occasions over this since he came to the SEC where he just can't finish games, gets leads, and can't hold on to them.
Absolutely.
They held it to it. That kid, Asa Newell, the freshman, he's probably going to be one and done.
Yeah.
Um, and then Cyril, the big man,
Yeah.
he really intimidated the bigs on Kentucky. And then it helped, Brea, the guy that came off the bench against Florida and that was 7 for 9. He was 2 of 9 or 2 of 8
I know.
from the 3-point line. Goodness.
How about that? Wasn't that terrible? You're like, dude, come on.
He was the game. I put it on him as the reason the Gators lost that game.
Yeah.
We can talk free throws, but like one guy going 7 for 8. Come on now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. How often does that happen from the 3 line, even at the college 3 line? Pat, I want you to comment on something after the game. I posted this, and I don't have it in front of me, but I'll paraphrase what I posted. And I truly mean this. I posted that tough night for Tennessee, but I said on my post, that game last night is going to happen to a lot of teams this season in the SEC. I think you got to get ready. I think Alabama's going to have one of those nights. I think Florida's going to have one of those nights. Tennessee had one of those nights. I think even Auburn. Would you agree with that? I think this conference is so deep that there's going to be one of those nights, hopefully only one, but there's going to be a night where, I mean, you're going to run into a buzzsaw some Tuesday or Wednesday night probably, or even a Saturday, and you're going to get it handed to you. This conference.
Yeah, everybody plays better at home. And I mean, it's really hard to win in the jungle in Auburn.
Yeah.
It's really hard to win. It's really hard to win everywhere. It's hard to win in Gainesville. It's hard to win in Tennessee. So, like we say it all the time, the luxury of having a quad one home game, you got to take care of home because it's going to be so hard to get those wins on the road. So hard.
I haven't seen. I think the new rankings come out today. I haven't seen them yet, but Florida, they dropped 2 spots with the loss against Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky got beat, so Kentucky will fall behind Florida, right? So Florida, they should. I mean, that was the most impressive win of the year in college basketball, wasn't it? Last night. I mean, what was more impressive?
Oh yeah, to do that to the number 1 team, yeah. Let me see where everyone's laying right now when it turns to rankings.
Yeah, I don't know if the new
one's Florida's at number 8.
Yeah, that's the old.
So they'll definitely jump. I mean, where do you think Tennessee drops to after that type of loss?
Ooh, I mean, they got beat by 30, for God's sakes. I will throw this out, though. Yes, Florida does play a return game with Tennessee later in Knoxville. Tennessee.
I can see Florida going to number 5. It being in Auburn, Iowa State, Duke, Bama, Florida.
Yeah. Do you think Duke's that good? Are they overranked, or it's hard to say? I've seen them a little bit. I haven't seen them a lot of Duke.
Their game was on while we were watching the other games, and I mean they beat Pitt, that was undefeated in conference play, by 30. The kid Cooper Flagg, he's good, man. He's all that. He with his athleticism and his length, and he covers so much space to get to his shot with his footwork and his legs. So I don't know if he's a great shooter, but I mean he knows how to score.
He really does. And he's got a feel. He's got that great basketball body too. That 6'7", can play big, can play small. You know what I mean? Outside game, can go low a little bit. He reminds me a little bit of Dalton Connect. He's not as thick as Connect because Connect was older. Reminds me a little bit of Dalton Connect.
I think Dalton's been playing well in the NBA.
Yeah, he's doing well, isn't he? Lakers.
Yeah.
He's with the Lakers. Pat, last night you had studio work. I think you've got it again tonight at the SEC network for SEC Now. Last night, obviously, Florida was the story. Florida, Tennessee, that was the story. The secondary story, Georgia knocking off Kentucky. The rest of the conference last night, were there any other surprises? Did anything stand out from other games other than those?
No, man, we thought Mississippi State Vandy was going to be a closer game.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Vandy started fighting back a little bit at the end there, but Bradley Kugel didn't play a lot that game. Who else was it? LSU and Missouri. Missouri just handled LSU easily. And then who was the last game? One we didn't pay too much attention to because it was another blowout.
Where's Kugel at now?
Kugel is now at Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. That's right.
Looks weird in the jersey.
Yeah, doesn't he? He looks strange. Did you hear about? We'll go to our first break here in a second. Did you hear about? I'm kind of piecing this together, and I think it was kind of a miscommunication, but there was a big deal with the Rowdy Reptile section, the student section in Gainesville. Somehow, that's a free section for students, and it's a great section. You played in front of them. Did you hear what happened last night? No. There was some deal where, and I think it was a miscommunication, but that's a free section, right? It's a first come, first serve student section, right? When they open that certain gate, they let in, I don't know, what is it, 900, right?
Well, I don't know how many.
It's not ticketed. You just show that you're a student, and like the first 900, you get in right there behind the court. So basically, that was a sellout last night, well over 11,000. They had students camping out in line for hours, right? Because there's a finite amount of space, right?
Right.
So supposedly, if I'm piecing this together right, they talked about it a little bit on TV, and I looked it up. School is still on break right now. They're still on their Christmas break. So the students aren't technically back in school right now. And this plays into it. So somebody had the idea with the Florida ticket office basketball. They took last night's Tennessee game, I think it was the UNF game several days ago, and the game before. They took three games, and they packaged them and sold them as a holiday package. You with me?
Yeah.
And somebody didn't think, well, wait a minute. Just because school is not in doesn't mean a boatload of students won't either some stay in, some didn't, some are already back. Some are in the area. Well, a bunch of students camped out and showed up and kind of got in, but then the arena people go, well, wait a minute, we've sold those tickets. They've been purchased. So police had to come and get some of the students out.
Wow.
It was a bad look, and you felt bad for the students. But somebody messed up there. They sold those tickets thinking, well, the students are gone. And
maybe you only sold like 100 instead of, I don't know.
What a mess. I think I've got that pretty close to right. But
and plus it being a number one team.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Who had the foresight of that one?
And of course, I read some reports, and some reporters were talking to some students, and several students that were questioned said, yeah, I mean, my God, school's not in yet, but I came back early for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you feel me?
Man.
And then, of course, it had to be cold as heck yesterday and the night.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are camping out in line, and
some of the front liners, they're oh man, they get there early.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, all right, Pat, can you stay around another segment or no?
Yeah, I can. Absolutely.
Okay. We want to talk a little bit. We didn't get deep into your thoughts on what the Jaguars did with Doug Peterson, what they did not do with Trent Baalke. I want to get your thoughts. We've all had a couple days to digest. There have been other coaching moves in the NFL that did just the opposite, which I think the fans here would have appreciated more. Fire the GM, keep the head coach. The Jaguars did the opposite. We'll talk about that. A lot of topics to get to. Brent Beaird should stop by soon, and we'll have Dr. Aaron Bates, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, coming up about 5-ish, as he does on Wednesdays, talking some sports medicine with you. Hang tight. We're back on a Wednesday, live from Twin Peaks.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Look what the cat drug in. We got Mr. Brent Beaird just kicking the door down here at Twin Peaks like you're like a Western guy going in a saloon kicking that door down. We got Patrick. Yeah, Patrick, you should have seen this entrance that Brent just had. It was impressive.
Do you have the hat on and everything, or the spurs?
Hey, guys got out of the way. Like a Red Sea was parting. This guy walked in.
Yeah, the sport. But by the way, I enjoyed immensely you on the SEC network last night.
Yeah, you did a good job, Pat.
Now, if you could have got rid of the Tennessee fan sitting beside you,
I know, right? But he was so sad during the whole thing, so I didn't want to lay it on him.
I get it,
Pat. We'll get to the Jags in a moment, but Brent sitting down. My goodness, you're an old warhorse like I am. Yep. I've seen a lot of football, baseball, basketball. I've seen a lot of spankings on courts and fields.
Wow.
That was about as good a whooping as I've ever seen from the opening.
It really was.
Tip, and Tennessee never made a run.
Pat had a great stat. Florida now owns the biggest discrepancy in points. What was it? Football, Florida State, and then basketball, Florida, Tennessee.
What was it, Pat? The only program ever to have a win over the number one football team ranked and a number one basketball team ranked by 30 or more points.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Pretty crazy.
Last night, I've seen blowouts. We've all seen big blowouts. The team getting blown out generally has a run somewhere. They knock together 8 straight points. Tennessee, they couldn't drop it in the basket if they had a ladder and were dropping.
And they had like 19 uncontested shots.
Unreal.
Something crazy like that. They just could not make anything.
How about
and what sucks, Meshack, he had an injury to his hand. So Florida was just letting him shoot as much as possible.
Yeah. So Florida, in the span of 3 days, they played Saturday and they played Tuesday. So we'll call that 3 days.
Right.
However you want to count it, 3 or 4 days. In the span of 3 or 4 days, Florida gave up 106 points to Kentucky and 43 last night to Tennessee. Tennessee's the number one team in the nation. They were undefeated, and Tennessee's better than Kentucky. How does that happen?
Wild.
What's amazing about that is, you almost had Tennessee scoring less points the minutes played overall.
Shocking. I mean, the numbers are just mind-boggling. 0 for 14 in the first half from three-point line, like 1 for 24 for the just mind-boggling how bad Tennessee played last night. I did say this, and Patrick agreed. I posted right after the game, not long after the game, just a general post. I said, hey, man, actually, let me correct it. I sent this as a text to a buddy of mine, big Vols fan, my buddy Jeff Kendall, and I literally sent this to, I said, man, tough night for Tennessee. That night is going to happen to every team in the SEC. Would you agree with that?
I would agree.
Everybody's
totally
going to have that night somewhere.
I'm just wondering if we're going to see this a lot when teams go on the road and then they come back home. That just has made such a difference. But listen, it was a fascinating night, and Pat had a front row seat with it. I mean, Georgia beating Kentucky.
Yeah.
And that thing wasn't close either, was it?
Patrick and I just talked about that.
Not really, no.
Georgia just got a lead, took off, and they almost cruised.
Knockdown shots, free throws, big time offensive rebounds.
And that's a Georgia team. I can't remember who beat them Saturday. Georgia scored 51 points, and we're lucky to get there in a loss on Saturday. It's going to be like that. I think as good as Auburn is, they're going to have at least one of those games.
Oh, they will.
Florida's going to have one of those games. Alabama's going to have one of those games. Kentucky just had one. It's going to happen.
And Pat, I'm curious, the Auburn-Texas game, I know Auburn won, and we know what to expect from Auburn. And Terry, too. Were you guys impressed with Texas?
I couldn't believe it was that close. I didn't really follow it. Pat, did you? Obviously, you're in the studio. Was that a Texas made a, oh, by the way, run at the end, or did they hang around?
I think they made a hey, by the way, run at the end because it was close a little bit earlier than Auburn came away, and then that kid Arthur Kaluma, he was at Creighton a few years ago. He wasn't shooting the ball the way he is now. He was huge, and then maybe Auburn took their foot off the gas a little bit because it got cut to a 3 or 4 point game at one point in the end, but Auburn was, and then, congratulations to Bruce Pearl getting his 215th win or 214th win, making him the most all-time.
And really
winningest coach at Auburn. I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah. Not just because Tennessee got beat. This has nothing to do with Tennessee getting beat last night, but within it happened last night, and it's happened the last several days. As I'm kind of reading and listening to really sharp people that follow college basketball, more and more people, and this has nothing to do with, again, Tennessee getting beat by 30, more and more college basketball people are saying Auburn's the best team in the country. Auburn's the best team. I'm hearing that. Now, it's hard to win. It's not saying they're going to win the national title. You got to win 6 in a row and stuff. But Pat, are you hearing that? Obviously, you're one of the guys that says stuff like that. I'm hearing more people saying Auburn, straight out, flat out, is probably the best team going right now.
Auburn's number one, and Janai Broome is player of the year right now.
Yeah. Look, I remember, Terry and I remember this, Pat. You probably don't. You were probably a twinkle in your parents' eye then, but I remember the Ernie and Bernie show.
Remember it well.
At Tennessee. Well, Bernie was considered the best player in the league, and frankly, Ernie was your point guard that set everything up. But Bernie was unstoppable at this point. And listen, Janai Broome's much better than Ernie was. And Bernie too. I mean, we've not seen anything like him. I would agree. Right now, he's the best player in the league, and has gotten considerably better since he played last year.
But guys, in fact, you've probably looked at the schedule, looked ahead, and what nights you're working and what. But man, just looking ahead. You're going to have Florida knock heads with Alabama still, with Auburn, the return game with Tennessee, because there is a return. Tennessee and Kentucky are going to knock heads. Alabama and Tennessee are going to knock heads.
That's right.
Auburn and Kentucky.
Don't forget Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad you brought up Mississippi State. Mississippi State, it's funny. You can almost bust the SEC up into little chunks. The top of the SEC, those 5-ish teams, those are your national front runners, and they're all good. They all play pretty basketball. Then there's a chunk, Patrick and Brent, there's a chunk of 4 or 5 grinders.
Yes.
Those just rock fight
yes.
guys, Texas A&M and Mississippi State. And Patrick, you probably can name a couple more, but isn't that true? That second group of really good teams, they play totally different than the first group of really good teams.
Georgia's a little bit like
a little bit grinder. Yeah.
And now we know Mike White.
He loves himself a 56, 55 game.
He does.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. But if you can win, I tell you that A&M plays Oklahoma tonight.
Yep.
That's going to be interesting. Now I understand. Help us on this, Pat. Wade Taylor's out tonight.
Oh, I don't know that. He is.
Oh, that'd be big.
Yeah.
And speaking of, how sad is this? Miles Studi from South Carolina is out indefinitely with the blood clot in his leg.
Oh,
that sounds
man.
terrible. And they're in a bit of a rebuild mode, right? South Carolina's scuffling around a little bit. Yeah.
And they play Alabama tonight.
Is that right?
In Columbia.
Patrick, you may have looked at it. Shame on me, I haven't. But with regard to the SEC weekday games, does Tuesday get more games than Wednesday? Does Wednesday get more, or do they try to?
It's usually been more on Wednesday, but
more Wednesday.
It was. I think now that with two more teams, it's probably still gonna be more, but maybe 4 or 5 games Tuesday and 4 or 5 games on. Wednesday as well.
With college football and basketball, it's maybe in baseball, but definitely football and basketball. We talked about it in football. The expanded big conferences now, Big Ten's got 18? SEC's got 16. Even at 16, you've really got to break it up. They really need to go back to divisions, because it almost seems like some of the teams aren't in the same conference. Because you can like in football, in football, the SEC right now, you play 8 conference games. There's 16 teams. You're one of the teams. So that means you do not play 7 of the teams every year right now. You don't play 7. It almost feels like in football, you're not in the same conference.
Right.
Right? That's one negative. I want the conferences to go 24. I want 2 big 24 or 32, but you got to split them up.
Yeah.
And then get rid of the non-conference games.
Not necessarily.
Maybe one.
You can keep a couple 2 or 3 in football. That's a discussion for another time. Pat, we didn't get enough time with you yesterday. Well, you've had time to digest the big move in Jacksonville. The big move it's controversial. It seems like it's not anywhere near well received as the majority. I think that's a safe way of saying.
Yeah.
I know, Pat, you've been gone and still out of town. Boy, Brent, you'll agree, Jacksonville's been hot over this. I mean, the majority of Jaguar Nation doesn't necessarily think Peterson should have been retained, but they certainly think Balky should have been let go. Pat, what's your read on this?
Well, I mean, I feel the same as every fan. It's just hard to believe that Doug Peterson he died on this or fell off his horse, ever wanting to take over play calling.
Well said.
You just would think that at some point to mix things up, but that's in the past now. But now I just think it seems as though Trent Baalke doesn't have the greatest reputation. So a lot of candidates, maybe just because your name's hot doesn't mean you need to take that job. Like I don't know if I would take that job as a good, especially if I'm coming from I'm a hot coordinator coming from a really good organization. I might want to keep my job where I'm at. Maybe wait another year. I don't know.
I don't think the Jacksonville job is a good job.
Were you overwhelmed by the candidate list at all?
No.
I wouldn't either.
But that's and we went over it. We've got it. If people haven't seen it, we can flash it up and get it down. But what was it? One former head coach, and I didn't. He's not a guy I would hire. But I mean, that's the level. The Jacksonville Jaguars in free agency, in coaching searches.
Yes.
They cannot. They don't get to choose A-list.
No.
Using entertainment. There's A-listers, B-listers, and then they call it the Kathy Griffin D-list.
Yeah.
Well, right. There's the D-listers.
That's good.
Jacksonville. That was a C list. That was a bunch of coordinators.
Yeah, yes.
But that's where Jacksonville's at. And
It is.
I've got the well, did we get your thought? I don't remember if Monday it had happened yet. Did we get your thought on what you think? Peterson gets the guillotine, as Patrick said, and Balky gets the thumbs up.
Yeah. I mean, the thing to me that people got to pay attention to here is, I mean, this shows you how much power Balky has. I mean, Balky right now,
it's like he's a Svengali over.
Yeah.
Over you know what a Svengali is?
Yeah.
He's a Svengali over Shad Khan.
And where does he earn that right to do that?
Nobody knows.
I mean, you're basing what your record is.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just where you are. But no, I was shocked as much as anyone else. But their number one concern right now is the inability to track quality candidates because they don't, for whatever reason, they don't want to work with Balky.
No, don't want to. I mean, you're already nowhere near an attractive, sexy franchise.
Right.
And when I say that, I think you guys, you don't have a true superstar. You don't have a ton of. I've got the cap money right here. Jacksonville's right in the middle. They got $40 million. The Patriots pick fourth. They've got $126 million of cap space right now. There's not a. And yesterday I mentioned one thing that could have been attractive and sexy for the franchise when you're shopping for a coach, had they got that first pick, but they didn't even get that. That first pick could be considered gold.
Yeah.
You could go get 3 good players with that pick.
And they're what?
And a competitor got it.
5th or 6th now?
They're 5th. They'll draft 5. But I think it's also a big deal. The Titans are a miserable team. Right there with the Jaguars.
They are.
The Titans got the first pick. They've got a chance now. If they don't want to grab one of the quarterbacks, and they may, if they say, well, we're going to ride with Levis or we'll try a free agent somebody, the Titans now could leverage that into 3 good players and get past the Jaguars. The last thing you wanted, if the Jaguars didn't get the 1, was a division team getting the 1.
Right.
Because they've got leverage now. They've got leverage back. They've got a lot of leverage with that. Ooh, I don't know. The Jaguars, though, sit at 17th right now, cap space, going into 2025
17th.
From a place called
Trevor.
Yeah. The number one team right now with the most cap space right now as we speak, and you can't really start letting – you can massage this by letting guys go, and some contracts you can't let go, right? But that won't happen for a while. So I think this is going to hold. I don't think you can let guys go right now, this calendar period. The Patriots right now have the most cap space, $126 million. Raiders are behind at 97 in second place. Those are bad teams that have high picks and a lot of money. That's how you get good quick.
Right. Yeah.
High picks and a lot of money.
But see, their problem right now is the guys on their list. Did you also notice the majority of them up like the Lions coordinators? I mean, everybody in their brother going after those guys.
Yeah, and Ben Johnson's not coming.
No.
And by the way, I threw this out yesterday, Patrick. And Patrick, thank you. You sent that graphic yesterday, and we had it on, and I've got it here. I'll pull it up here in a second. But I threw this out yesterday. That is who the Jaguars have requested interviews. That doesn't mean those people are going to accept. Most of them will, because you like to get your face in front. But I think a lot of those will be perfunctory interviews, right?
Yeah.
You interview now because, hey,
Where's Todd Monken at? I know I've been hearing his name a lot.
Baltimore.
Who used
Baltimore.
to be
by the way, the
Georgia.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's of that list, and I'll pull it up real quick. Zach, I don't know if we got it.
No more Dougs.
Don't hire a Doug.
Yeah, we've had too many Dougs.
Yeah, here it is. Here's the list from yesterday. What was it, 8 deep? Kellen Moore, Todd Monken. I don't know where Moore's at. He's been a coordinator, the old Boise State quarterback, right? He's been a coordinator of the league. Never a head coach, I don't think. Kellen Moore, Todd Monken, former Georgia coordinator, doing good things with a great, talented team at Baltimore. Joe Brady, I think he's about ready to be a head coach.
Yeah.
Liam Cohen, who's bounced between college and NFL every year.
He was at Kentucky twice.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the offense and defensive current coordinators for the Giants. Patrick Graham, I wouldn't know him if he walked in and slapped Brent right in the face. And Robert
He's with
Saleh.
the Giants. We're requesting an interview with the guy from the Giants.
Is that right? From the Giants. And
Wow.
and Robert Saleh,
He came from the Jets,
who got
right?
fired mid-season. He's unemployed right now.
With the Jets,
And
right?
the Jaguars, yes,
No, yeah, now
got fired.
tell me what
Yeah.
would make you want to interview him?
I don't know. And he's the only guy with head coaching experience, right, on this list.
Man,
I mean, that is the definition of the type of – and this also – I'm not banging on the Jaguars. I just try to tell what I think is the truth.
it's just a reality.
It's also, guys, the BC list that Jacksonville gets to pick off of is the same thing that happens year after year with free agency.
Yeah, yes.
The money in free agency kind of is going
Right,
to work out.
right.
If you're Joe running back and one team offers you, the offers are going to be in the ballpark. People don't want to come here. It's not a free agent destination location.
Or if they do, the problem is they've never been a head coach before, probably whoever they get. So your initial learning mistakes are going to be here, and if they're bad enough, you're not going to be here. You're gone.
You're gone. What about this, guys? And we'll get your comment and take our next break here. How about the two guys that were one and done? Antonio Pierce, the Raiders,
Oh my
1
gosh.
year gone, and Gerard Mayo with the Patriots.
Gerard Mayo, I feel so bad for him, don't you?
Don't you? And Kraft came out and said, I kind of put him in an untenable position. Well, if you knew that, can you throw the guy a bone?
Yeah, really? You give him another year?
This got mentioned on national radio this morning. I'm messing around running errands. I promise we'll take a break here, Zach. I swear. I threw this out yesterday and qualified it. No sources, haven't seen this, just Terry thinking. And I said, let me tell you guys something. If I was a North Carolina Tar Heel football fan, until I see Belichick on that sideline and all NFL jobs are filled, I wouldn't be comfortable. I wouldn't feel comfortable. I heard some national guys saying, there's talk that maybe Brady, who is an ownership stake with the Raiders,
right,
who now need a coach. There's been a little whispering. There's been stranger things could happen or have happened than Belichick, who obviously wants to coach.
Yeah.
He's going back to college.
Right.
He wants to coach. Stranger things have happened than Belichick popping up in the NFL.
But see, because
am I nuts there?
No,
Yes.
I've seen
No
that,
way.
heard that. But the reality for this is, there was a really interesting article on Belichick on why he look, he was intentional about leaving the NFL. He was sick and tired of a lot of what was going on there. And look, he'll be deity at North Carolina.
Yeah.
For several years. And the other thing is his son's at North Carolina.
Yeah, I know.
On the coaching staff, and he set him up in order to do that. But that's out there, guys, because Belichick obviously has coaching experience. So if they were blackballing him or they didn't want to hire him, gee, isn't that amazing how these things change in the course of a week or so?
Definitely. Zach, I'm going to do some producing on the fly. Can we just keep it here to the top? I know I've gone a little bit late. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep it here to the top. We'll take a break. Then hopefully we'll get Dr. Bates on. He may have forgotten as well. We've missed our last two Wednesdays here because of Christmas
Absolutely.
and New Year's. And Pat, we'll take it to the top and let you go. I know you're busy. And we'll have Doc on and Patrick. Brent Beaird. Guys, some other topics. We talked obviously Gator basketball, Jaguars. Kentucky gets bombed by Georgia. I thought it was interesting. Kirby Smart has declared war on drop passes in Athens.
And well, he needs to.
He goes out. Did you see they picked up Noah Thomas from A&M? He's a good player.
He is.
He got 15 career touchdown catches from Texas A&M. Patrick and Brent, he signed with Georgia. Georgia went out and got Branch from USC.
That's right. And his brother.
Patrick, Kirby Smart, there's no coincidence, he's gone hard wide receiver. But we went ahead and let Patrick go. He's got to get to the studio. But that's not a coincidence.
No, it's not.
Drop passes killed Georgia.
They really did. There's no doubt about that.
And they had experienced players dropping passes.
You remember the pass Bell dropped wide open, maybe Terry, 30 to 40 yards down the field.
Game changer.
It really was, wasn't it? Yes.
Game changer. But am I right? There's no coincidence. Kirby Smart's first strike, hard strike in the portal, receiver. I mean, he's gone out and got receiver.
Well, I agree with that, but I can tell you what, it really doesn't matter who they get in the wide receiver position until they can fix their offensive line again.
Yeah, I think he feels comfortable that he's got young guys that he can mold into that. But my goodness, Georgia dropping pass. I mean,
led the nation in drop passes.
Wide open passes dropping. You're right. That one drop, I don't want to put all on Bell. That he had that big drop. That was a game changer.
It really was.
That was a game changer. Have you looked ahead at the I guess we got to call it. It's got to be the greatest 5-day run of football in United States history.
Starting tomorrow night. Yeah.
Thursday, college football semifinal game. Penn State, Notre Dame. Friday, second semifinal college football game. Ohio State, Texas. That's 4 blue bloods right there.
It really is. Yeah.
Saturday, not 1, but 2 NFL playoff games.
Right.
Sunday, 3 NFL playoff games. Monday, a Monday night single
Did they
NFL
have
playoff game.
a wild card Monday night game over the last few years?
I don't
Do you
recall,
remember
but I
that?
didn't follow it that hard.
Yeah.
Zach, you may know. Is that Monday night game
Is
playoff?
that unusual, Zach?
I just don't follow it.
What about the Monday night game?
Have they had a Monday night playoff
Wild
game?
card playoff?
Yeah, they've done that ever since they expanded to the 7 teams on each conference to the what they call a super wild card weekend. Yeah.
Okay. Zach, how about those 5 days in a row?
I'm ready for it. Oh yeah, that's what we play for, you know.
And
that's
it's
what
a
the whole
byproduct
season leads up to.
And it's a byproduct of the expanded college playoff.
It is.
We wouldn't have these games.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into this, but Terry, and Zach, the weather in Dallas is supposed to be terrifically bad.
Really?
I mean, they've got a front coming through.
Mm-hmm.
They may have several inches of snow in that game. The game could be in the teens or in the 20s. And now you still play football, even in inclement weather like that.
But I mean, they're in the dome, though, aren't they?
They do. It's a retractable roof, which they expect to be closed, but it's the traveling to the game, the game and getting people in. That's what's tough.
And I'm glad. I'm glad you brought that up about not that I'm glad they're terrible weather heading that way, but the NFL is really on high alert. That Monday night game is a playoff game in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is burning to the ground right now.
Absolutely,
and the NFL is really monitoring.
Yeah.
Right.
Do they need to move that to Minnesota?
That's a great question.
Right, and you got the thing is though, to move that game to Minnesota, you really need to do it 3 days ahead of time.
Yeah.
So they need to make a decision here the next day or two.
And Terry, if you're a fan, who's going to the game?
Yeah, that's tough.
Especially if your house is on fire.
That's what I'm saying. And the NFL, they're monitoring it hard. I remember this morning, it was on our setup show, rundown sheet. And then later, I hadn't heard it yet, but then later today, you see the headlines, NFL strongly monitoring wildfires in Los Angeles.
They would have to be.
I mean, it sounds like Los Angeles is burning to the ground.
Yeah.
And they're going to try and play a game on Monday.
That's incredible.
Man, that is tough. They're having these entertainer mansions being burned to the ground.
Right, yeah.
And shame on me. I understand wintertime is dry, but I don't remember, California's been plagued by wildfires.
Yes.
Have they always been in the winter? To me, it's kind of, and I know they don't have a winter.
Good point. Yeah.
But I don't remember. They're always summer, aren't they?
The thing that's caused us many problems with this is the wind is so strong that that once they get one out, it spreads somewhere else.
And it just skips and runs.
Yes.
And just jumps around. You and I haven't talked, and we've got a couple minutes before the top of the hour. Then we hope to hear from Dr. Bates as we lead off hour number 2 here on the Young and Norvelle Show. You and I haven't talked. Gosh, I just lost the
playoffs.
No. Georgia swoops in and gets the Florida safety, Adrian Maddox.
They
Florida
sure did.
got the commitment from the safety.
Right.
He didn't sign. Georgia, I guess, made another offer to him, and he signed with one more thing to heat up that rivalry. But Georgia swoops in and gets that safety from Florida.
Well, and I can tell you one thing. You remember You remember Kirby badly wanted to get Jaden Rashada. He did, and Jaden Rashada is in the transfer portal now. Jaden Rashada is a kid that.
What do you make of that?
That's just awful. I mean, he's been at like 4 schools: Florida, Georgia, Arizona State. It's the look. That's the real problem with the portal is, and my understanding is he's got some awful people trying to advise him on what to do. But you know what? I'll give him a clue bag. If you're changing schools every year, that means whoever is advising you don't know what they're doing.
And before people bang on the portal in this situation, maybe he's just not very good.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty obvious right now.
He just wouldn't be playing anywhere. You know, strange situation.
It is
real strange situation. I still wish, and this is more selfish for what we do. Don't you wish? I'm fine with the portal opening up. I know they need to move it, the window here and there, but I'm fine with having a window here and there. I kind of wish, just for I didn't know that standpoint, they had kind of 1 or 2 portal signing dates that we could know.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Guys, the portal is closed until April, but guys can now still move until a certain date. And it's just hard to keep up with everything. Who's where?
And see, the teams in the playoffs, the Final Four, shall we say here, those teams have additional days after they get through playing to be in the portal, too. The thing they've got to do immediately with the portal, as soon as the season's over, they've got to move the portal out of December.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Looks like that's a tough
They
spot.
can't do that. Or
the
thing they could do is, it's 20 days. They could cut it down to 10.
Yeah.
And if they do that would help. Or get rid of the one in the spring like they almost did last year.
You look around in our area with regard to college football and off-season storylines, a couple of the big ones. What, if anything, is going to happen on the offensive side of the ball with Billy Napier and the Gators?
Yeah,
and I say what, or if anything, maybe he doesn't do anything. I think that would be a terrible move by him.
It would be.
Is he waiting on a coach? Is a coach employed right now? And, you know, a story that was huge has got pushed to the back burner. I think it'll rear its head. What the hell is going to happen with FSU and, to a degree, Clemson and the ACC tit for tat?
Correct.
I mean, FSU and the ACC went at it hard.
They did.
It's kind of in neutral, but something's got to happen.
Do they kiss and make up? Or, I mean,
even if you kiss and make up, doesn't that – it got such pomp and circumstance. The breakup got so much. Either the husband or wife left the house. Okay, they're not divorced yet, right?
Correct.
That got so much pomp and circumstance. If they do kiss and make up, that the ACC and FSU and Clemson to a degree, they need to shoot up fireworks
absolutely.
But something needs to happen in the next couple months, right? This doesn't need to drag. And I know it's big money. It's hard to contractually work it all out. But something, they can't drag that. You can't have all off season.
Right. Well,
and by the way, from a recruiting standpoint, FSU, why would you want to go there? You may be playing in the AAC. What? You may be an independent. Why would you want to go to FSU?
Something will happen, or it has to happen, if they're moving, that they announce it by August 15th. That's your deadline.
Wouldn't it be terrible if it lasted that far? If it just blew in the wind?
It really would.
Blew in the wind?
Yeah.
I think so. All right, let's take our top of the hour break. We're right at the top of 5 o'clock. Having a fun Wednesday. They're always fun. Glad to be back. We were gone on Wednesdays for Christmas and New Year's, but we are back sitting right in the middle of Twin Peaks. Fun place, great food, scratch kitchen, full service bar, and 29-degree draft beer, and they're sitting at 29 degrees right now. They're known for a lot of things, including 29-degree draft beer. Great specials, great lunch specials. Check them out if you have not already done it. Twin Peaks at the intersection of Atlantic and Kernan. Break time, 1 hour down, 1 to go. Hope to hear from Dr. Aaron Bates from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist on the other side.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, back we are here, finally back to Twin Peaks. Been gone. We had that crazy Wednesday Christmas, Wednesday New Year's.
That's
and,
rare. That's rare.
Yeah, how about that? And you know what? The NFL said we don't give a damn. The NFL, they've decided they're taking over Christmas now.
Sure.
What is the deal? The NFL, I think, now has claimed basically every day but Tuesday of the week, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they claimed Wednesday this year.
They would eventually. They would love to be on every day of the week.
I think they would. Oh, the big bad NFL. Brent Beaird, Terry Norvelle. We let Patrick go. He spent the first hour with us. Pat is in Charlotte for his second night working SEC Now basketball. Full slate of SEC tonight as well. And Pat will be the analyst in studio. We'll get some work out of that guy now.
Yeah, Ron Slay, I believe.
Yeah.
Now they may change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But he'll probably be back with him tonight. And if folks haven't heard Pat or seen Pat on television, he really does a good job.
Yeah, he's done it a long time now. He's really good. He presents well. He's well spoken, and I think we'll lose him on this show before long. He'll say, Terry, they pay a little more than peanuts at SEC Network, and see you later. I'm not sure. Do we have Dr. Bates on? I'm not sure if we got Doc on. We're waiting on Dr. Bates, and I reached out to him, but I'm not sure if he's back and in the swing of things. So we'll see.
Or is after being maybe 2 weeks off?
Yes.
Is he just slammed at this point?
Yes,
Can that be it too?
He could be, definitely. So we'll continue. I always want to do this, Brent. I think, and I'll get your opinion. I want to pull up some of the headlines here. I think all of the NFL moves have been made by now. If you were going to let a coach go.
Well, they've had half a dozen, right?
Yeah, there's 6 openings. 3 happened during the season and 3 on or near Black Monday. And, Zach, I'll get your opinion of this as well. You follow the NFL close. Wouldn't you think that they've been done now? Would you expect an 11.5-hour firing?
Well, I
mean,
mean,
it's Wednesday now.
I mean, what? The Raider situation, they let him have a press conference and fired him the next day.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? But wouldn't you think they've been done now, that if you're going to make a move,
probably
you would make a move? Let's go back to I don't know if there's anything floating out there, but what's Billy Napier going to do or not going to do with offense with regard to coordinator? What's your gut? There's talk he may be talking to some Ohio State people. They're still playing. Some coaches, even if their teams are done, some coaches do have language in their contracts. They can't negotiate until January 15th.
Right.
Could that be? What do you think this guy's
maybe?
Do?
But look, he's got to Terry. He really. I think fans would be incredibly relieved if he did something, and he named somebody, and then of course you don't know the season until where that's going. Now I have heard that Ron Roberts may not be back, who basically coordinated the defense and was probably the most valuable assistant that they had.
That would have to be his decision.
Yeah,
right?
It would have to. I would think so.
He's not being asked.
No, I don't. I haven't heard it that way. But I mean, he did a terrific job. I mean, they need to keep him because that defense from October on really improved tremendously.
It really did. Yesterday, Florida got mixed news. I guess they lose the safety to Georgia, Adrian Maddox. But I think this was a big deal. Tyreek Sapp comes back.
Absolutely.
Tyreek Sapp, a veteran defensive end, rush end guy that, frankly, has been very disappointing up until about November 1st.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I hate to use this cliche. A light came on.
It did.
And
it really did.
He's one of those eyeball guys. You go, my God, this guy must be a 15-sack guy. Looks great in his uniform, big, long body.
Yes.
It had been disappointing. He went nuts in November. He led Florida in sacks at the end, 7 sacks. He comes back. Brent, I was looking yesterday when Sapp announced he was coming back. I got on the computer and pulled up Florida's roster and just took my time and looked at it. Their 2 lines of scrimmage, offense and defense, I'm telling you, they haven't had this many seasoned, good players and depth in a long time in game.
Well, and here's your breakdown. 37 freshmen, 17 sophomores, 12 juniors, 18 seniors. That's 84. I mean, they'll play with the numbers now for quite some time. But frankly, and it's been that way for them. The strength of this team is in their underclassmen.
Yeah, it really is. When Sapp came back yesterday, get on, and he's an edge guy. He's not inside. He's an edge guy.
Right.
94, just turned it on in November. In terms of edge guys, rush guys, get on it, get after it, go get the quarterback. Sapp comes back. L.J. McCray, the 5-star, got better every week.
He did.
George Gums, they brought in from Lord knows where. What a pickup. Number 34 had a great year. He's back. Cameron James, number 24, edge guy. He's back.
Yes.
Florida's loaded at the edge. They also got a huge benefit. Caleb Banks came back, number 88.
Right.
The big 350-pound guy, interior. defensive lineman. And he did the same thing as Sapp.
Yeah.
November, something kind of clicked.
It did.
He was a mauling defensive tackle. Not to pick on Jack Pyburn, who transferred out, and there's a little bit of pretty good dust up about that. Pyburn's an edge guy. There was nowhere for him to play.
No.
He was going to get those snaps at Florida. Good for him for leaving.
Now, the story went is he wanted an incredible amount of money. Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not. A lot of that's not. Now, another thing they did, Terry, they wanted a big wide receiver, got one in this Sturdivant kid from UCLA. He was 6'3".
Yeah, they went and got a big receiver. Let me back up to Pyburn. I think that got misreported or not. The onion wasn't peeled back enough. And I don't have total cooperation, but one of the things that turned some fans off were Pyburn supposedly had a list of demands, $45,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Now let me stop right there. From what I gather, that would have been $45,000 a month for the 3-month football season. So if you do the math, he could have very well been asking for $135,000, which is not a crazy number.
No, it's really not.
I think fans think immediately 45,000 times 12. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
to get that 45,000 a month, he would have had to commit a whole year.
Sure.
But would have gotten paid. I think your NIL stuff is during the season.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they also got a UMass edge rusher, Kofi Asara.
Yeah.
That they like. So look, it's not that they've been dormant. They've gone out and done what they need to do. This that he's not going to. I don't know if he'll play much, but they had to have another quarterback. They got Deshaun Purdy from Charlotte.
The guy threw. Charlotte is not a power, obviously, but they are Division I.
Yeah,
he threw for over 1,000 yards. So it's not Aiden, whatever the Mizell or
the Yale player.
And I get it. Injuries played into that, but a program the level of Florida cannot send Aiden, whatever his name is, onto the field. And I get it. They were 2 quarterbacks injured, but your quarterback, even your third guy, has to have been a guy that was a really good player at range, that was 5'11", and couldn't go anywhere. But he's at Florida as your third or fourth. Can't get caught like that. Florida's offensive line. Jake Slaughter came back. Barber came back. They've got a lot of.
That's a pretty good offensive line.
Yes. Harris comes back. George comes back, who played well inside, much better than outside. They've got. They love Bryce Lovett. They're developing. I'm telling you, Florida's lines of scrimmage, both offense and defense. It's not like you're hoping they can play. I've seen these guys play. They played well, and they got a bunch of them. This hasn't been the case at Florida in a long time.
But listen, the ball kid, a running back, could be a star.
Could be. They're fine at the running back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think they're going to be fine at receiver, as you pointed out. They bring the UCLA kid in. Dallas Wilson. Between Dallas Wilson and Vernell Brown, 2 5-star receivers, you got to think one of those guys, if not both, but one of them will be a 30, 40 catch contributor.
Right. Yes.
I think they're fine at tight end with the emergence of Tony Livingston late in the season. Big body tight end, caught a bunch of passes in the bowl game. Hayden Hurst, I always mix him up with there's a bunch of tight ends.
There are
named.
They are.
And Florida's got one of those Hayden Hurst named guys.
Like the kid at South Carolina. Yeah.
The kid that came out of Bowles. I think that was him.
Yeah. Who
played baseball with us.
Who Zach would know. Yes.
Things look up for Florida.
They really do.
Things look up for Florida. They're playing a tough-ass
Now
conference. They
have got – don't they have to go to Miami early?
Yes, it's
and
not
make
the
statement.
opener.
It's not. You're
right.
right.
That is not the opener, though.
Right.
It's about game 3. But, yes, Florida needs to go there and win that game.
Yeah.
And win that game. The beautiful thing about this 12-team playoff, though, sure, Florida's got another tough schedule. Everybody in the SEC's got a tough schedule. You've got 2 in your pocket, though.
Sure you do.
If you,
absolutely,
yes, you've got 2 in your pocket.
Yeah,
right.
You've got 2 mulligans, is what Terry's saying.
You really do. Particularly if you're in the Big Ten or the SEC. Yes, you look at that schedule, but if you go, man, there's some minefields there. But if we think we're good, I'm talking Florida in this point. Or if you think you're good, you go, okay, well, let's just say, okay, here's one of them. All right, So we lose to those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're pretty good. We're going to beat most. And okay. Well, we're 10-2.
Sure.
That's going to probably get you in the playoffs.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's probably going to get you.
Absolutely, it is.
It will probably get you in your conference championship game.
Yeah.
And you're going in.
And think about this, too. When we go to 16, and that's where we're going. Well, we're going to either 14 or 16. Yeah. Next year in 25, or this year in 25, it's going to be basically the same. I'm going to be interested to see if they make some tweaks, and we can talk about that.
Yeah.
But look, Terry, the point is, if they go to 14 and 16, a 9-3 team's getting in, and there may be more than one.
Yes, at least one probably. At least one. Let me throw this out. We know it's going to expand. 12 is temporary.
Yes.
It's a placeholder. Why even mess around with 14? We know it's going to go to 16.
Right.
Why not go straight? And the committee will come out and give you 18 reasons why. And part of it is they want to meet because they love meeting. They love meeting in resorts. But seriously, Brent, if it's 2 years from now, go to 16. You know you're going to 16 quickly after you go to 14.
Sure.
Go straight to 16.
The problem they've had, and I guess this is good and bad, is whenever the contract called for, they basically have played out the contract.
Yeah, yeah.
It's what they've done.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they'll do again.
But are you on my position there,
yeah, absolutely.
We all know it may be 6, and I get contracts. The contracts are on paper.
Sure.
I get it. We all know 6 to 7 years from now, it'll be 16.
Yeah.
Why even go through the hullabaloo of going to 14 and then 6? Just
but
go
you
through
know,
it. Get it done.
And so you
Get it
know
done.
now after this year that you got to reseed.
Yes.
At a certain point during the playoffs.
Reseed, yes.
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 And the other situation is and you beat this drum the whole year. Why in the world do you give your non-power forward school a bye?
Yeah. Why do you even put them in it?
Yeah.
That's a whole other argument.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm beating now. I'm going to beat this all season. I can't imagine a future Power 5 team being better than that Boise team we just saw last week. They were good.
Yeah.
They had a great player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a group of 5 being close to that. And that team that we said is good shouldn't have been on the field. But we're still going to give and give. Do you really think the group of 5 next year and the year after and the year after is going to be better than that team?
No.
Boise. And Boise could not compete. They got, I mean, the score was not indicative. Penn State toyed with them.
Oh, yeah. Here's another thing that's going to happen is they are assuredly, there's going to be a guarantee that both the Big Ten and the SEC get 4 in. I've heard that is a certainty.
And the non-SEC people, look at this year. Well, they didn't dominate. They were their eyes were bigger than their stomach. The SEC got their come up at 1 year.
You still got 3 in, and they
may win the national title.
Yeah, you still may win the national title with one they got.
But it is 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
It is 1 year. Brent, hang tight. Let's take a break. When we come back, I want to stay with college football. It's our passion. And,
yes.
Hey, we talked some Jaguars. We talked NFL. Talk college basketball. I want to stay with that. I want to throw some stuff out that still gets fans upset. Where college football is, where they wanted to go. I'll point out some things I want you to address on the other side. College football talk coming up. That's Brent Beaird. I'm Terry Norvelle. Glad you're with us here. Fun filling up in here. Happy hour is rolling into dinner hour. If you're in the area, come by, say hi to everyone. All the ladies are here. Kitchen is pumping out the great food at Twin Peaks, the intersection of Atlantic and Turner.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, here we go again. Brent Beaird, Terry Norvelle, Patrick Young. He's off doing his SEC network duties. Patrick, this will kind of be his schedule, I think. For people who don't know, obviously our co-host Patrick Young, he has worked for the SEC network on, what is it, SEC Now.
Yes.
Is the basketball studio show once basketball rolls around. Of course, we're here in basketball. Patrick will pretty much, it looks like, go Tuesday, Wednesday, and then did he say Saturday as well? No, he's not doing Saturday.
He's not doing that.
He did that before.
And the reason why you don't want to do Saturday, you got 11 o'clock Eastern and noon games. Yeah. And listen, to, you've done this.
Tough,
you've done this in the past.
It is tough.
You're talking noon to after midnight easily.
Because of those early games, they'll have a kickoff studio show.
That's right.
And then it's all day and night, like you said, man. It's long. You know who else does that? I talked to him not long ago about it, and he loves the gig, and he's done it well. Same thing happens with football. Chris Doring was telling me about his schedule.
Oh yeah.
They said, buddy, it's he does basically football analyst,
Yeah.
Patrick basketball analyst, and man, you're getting there, and SEC football, they'll kick off a noon game on your butt in a heartbeat, right?
Easily, if not 11.
And then they'll have a hour before. SEC Now will do a big game and SEC Nation and all, and then he'll have to do all the. Is it called SEC Now? The rap show?
Yeah.
He wraps them up. Man, those are fun but long days. Brent, wanted to bring this out. We'll do this a bunch because this topic won't go away. But one thing I want to kind of get, I wish I could get every college football fan that's mad where college football is going because of free agency, the salary cap, everything that's new to college football. A lot of the fans are the playoff that we were talking. Okay, a lot of the fans are mad as hell, and they go, "Fix the playoff, fix the money, fix the portal, fix this, fix that." I wish I could get people to understand. Give it time. It's got to work itself out.
It does.
And
really
the examples I use are like the NFL. The NFL has all that I just named. They have a salary cap. They have playoffs and a format of playoffs. They have free agency. Well, here's my point. It took the NFL several decades. They've tried this and tried that with free agency.
Right.
They've tried this and tried that with their schedule playoff. They've tried this and tried that with the salary cap. They've tweaked. It's taken – the NFL didn't roll out free agency, and it was perfect from day one.
No.
The NFL did not roll out the salary cap, and it was perfect for day one. They didn't roll out the structure of their playoff. They've changed that a million times. Why do the fans think college football should have it right from day one? Perfect.
Well,
it's going to have to mature and work.
It is.
Right?
And they've never done that. And we've seen the maturation of the playoffs from, and this is laughable now, from the AP writers basically voting on it and then the coaches voting on it. And until you've got the bowl coalition, until you've got the 4, now the 12. Look, what's going to happen next summer is when the money starts.
Yes. Won't that help?
Yeah, that's
going to help smooth things out. The schools will
Yes.
distribute the money.
Yes, every school is going to get like $21 million from this lawsuit from House
And
versus
that is
the
their
nation.
salary cap.
Yes,
They can bust it down how
basically.
they want.
Now, it still might be 2 or 3 years before we really get what you're talking about is the salary cap, but broken down into positions.
Yes.
That's the thing we're waiting on. And the other thing we're waiting on is when did we start contracts?
Absolutely.
Because that's coming.
Absolutely.
And it really needs to right now.
And I don't think the fan here's another thing the fan will scream. Okay, well, if you transfer one in the portal, that's great. They got to sit out the next one, or they got to start sitting them out. You can't tell a professional athlete to sit out. Does that mean? Think about it. If you can't go to the NFL and go, hey man, you've signed with 2 teams in 4 years. You got to sit out a year before you go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
are you going to pay me?
Yeah.
Do I get to sit and do nothing?
Right. Oh yeah.
You can't tell professional athletes they can't play a year.
Once
You
you
can't do that.
once you change that, that genie will never go back in the bottle.
No.
Now, look, people mention it, and I get what they're trying to say.
I do
Say, well, we'd have a lot less trouble if they had to sit out a year. And there's a lot of truth to that, but the reality is that's never going to work because that'd be a right to work issue, wouldn't it? Right? Yeah.
Right on the note. Yes.
Yeah.
And for some reason, particularly the college game, for some reason, fans, a lot of fans, I shouldn't label them all, they can't get through their head that things like that are issues.
Yes.
You can't just say you can't work. You know?
Yeah.
It's
that's
the other
true.
thing another thing I would like to get that I don't think gets the credit at all. Everybody loves to point out, man, there were 2,471 portal guys that went to new schools, and they're going to get a bunch of them are going to. It's not going to work out, and blah 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 blah. Nobody ever points out the other side of the portal, which is there are hundreds, if not thousands, of players that their careers were resurrected.
Yeah,
they
might sure were.
They went to a school. They went to a school,
Mm-hmm.
and their position. A guy may have come in at the same time, or a guy may be 1 year ahead at their position, and he has played well, and he's not going to get. So in the old days, yeah, you could have transferred out. You'd have had to sit out a year. A lot of guys go, I'm not going to go find a new school, new coaching staff, sit out a year. They still might not like me. How many guys would have died on the vine?
They would have.
They would have, and I use that phrase, my phrase.
Yes.
There have been hundreds, if not thousands, that the portal has kept from dying on the vine and going, well, I'm never going to play behind. That guy's a sophomore. I'm a freshman. You know what? He developed. I signed here. I'm behind him. I'm never going to play. They get in the portal, can play immediately, and they don't die on the vine.
Right.
Thousands of those guys.
Here's two sides of that. And that there was a big article about this week, which so it's very, very timely that you brought this up. Is the two things are Florida signs a kid from UMass who's the edge.
Yeah, the edge.
Okay. The thing with this guy is when he comes to Florida, he may be more developed than some of the kids at Florida who have not seen the field yet. And
I got you.
And the guy's motivated to play.
I got you. Yeah.
Is one thing. Now here's the other side of that. And this is what's hurt the SEC. The guys that Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, A&M have had as backups, third and even and second team players, those kids are that's who's going to the portal. That's what's hurting the depth.
Yeah.
And that's why Kirby, I give you credit. Kirby said this the whole year. Our biggest problem is we don't have the depth that we had before that we could win games with. Those kids aren't around
But
anymore.
doesn't that trickle down, though?
Well,
he should
probably
still have better, less depth,
of course,
than
Yes.
So,
of course.
But I get his point. Brent, I want to bounce a couple topics. We're going to go take this segment and then come back and wrap the show up in a little bit. I was wrong about. I thought the Gator, and I don't want to use tragedy as anything.
Yeah.
That was tragic what happened in New Orleans. Absolutely tragic. It moved the Notre Dame Georgia game a day. When that happened, I came on there and you and I haven't talked about it. I go, you know what? That may benefit the Gator Bowl. The game being moved, Georgia, Notre Dame.
Yes.
Because it got moved to the Gator Bowl's day.
Yes.
And it was at 4 o'clock. If it got moved to 8 o'clock, it'd been terrible for the Gator Bowl.
Yes.
But I thought that could be a good lead in.
Yeah.
4 to 7, and then the Gator Bowl at 8. It didn't play that way.
No.
And I feel bad for the Gator Bowl folks. We've had, we had Rick McGarity on. We had Katie Cox on. It was almost like that game, Georgia Notre Dame ended, and people were like, okay, dinner time, bedtime.
Yeah.
I don't think it translated, and it might have hurt. It might have hurt the walk-up crowd too, because some people might have just said, and it was cold there. People knew it was going to be cold. I felt like the Gator Bowl, it hurt the Gator Bowl. I thought it was going to help the Gator Bowl.
Here's the thing that's going to help the Gator Bowl. I was told this the other night. In 26, now in this year and next year, we're going to have some home games, which is a good idea. Now, what people haven't heard is probably what's going to happen. And I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just saying this is what I've heard and told that's what's going to happen. Is the home game is going to be taken away.
Yes.
And what's going to happen is with the home games being taken away, well, you got to play somewhere.
You brought this up on this show,
and
you're so right.
And what is for entities like the Gator Bowl, they're going to be able to probably have, especially with the new stadium.
Well, that's the whole. That's the whole thing. That new stadium.
Yeah. So especially with that, what you're going to get is the Gator Bowl instead of these home games. The Gator Bowl is going to get some of these early match playoff games.
Yeah, for what Brent's saying, if people don't quite get it, it looks like the playoffs going to expand. There's going to be more games.
Yes.
It looks like they're going to say those 4 schools that were 5, 6, 7, 8 that got a home game, they're not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Those games got to those games going to be played somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's getting expanded. So they're going to need more stadiums.
Absolutely.
And you know what? That new beautiful stadium downtown, when all that kicks in, it might not be quite ready.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know it's coming,
Yes.
I could see them saying, well, let's go ahead and play one of them or 2 years in the existing stadium,
right.
call it the Gator Bowl,
Right.
because we know this Taj Mahal is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very
that could really. I'll tell you one thing. I think what you're saying too, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. Is the Gator Bowl right now the biggest and best and financially best bowl going out there? No, they get in there and they swing hard, and it's hard to get a crowd, and they get this pick and this pick. I will say this: if I had stock in the Gator Bowl, or I could buy some stock in the Gator Bowl, you might want to hold it or buy a little bit of it right now, because there's a chance with that Taj Mahal that stocks will go.
Well, now tell me about fan reaction to this. Okay, it's one thing. Okay, you got your next door neighbor comes over. Hey, I'm off. I can go to the Gator Bowl. You want to go? Well, no, it's Ole Miss and Duke. Okay, 2 years from now, hey, bud, let's go to the Gator Bowl. It's a playoff game. Now you can't tell me that would be the emphasis for a lot of people to get out the door and go watch the game.
And it's played in the Taj Mahal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But you're so right.
Right.
So right. Off they go, man. It's playoff game.
Look, would that? Now I'm not saying it would be. Would that be a sellout?
Oh,
maybe.
Certainly would. As we take our last break here in a second, I'm going to throw out a couple things. Let me write these down so I don't forget.
You do that too?
These are 2 topics that are probably off-season topics.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have filler times of the year,
and
we can come back to them. Staying with the bowl games, I'm not bashing bowl games. This is just one of those make you think.
Mm-hmm.
It took college football so long.
Really
just
did.
to get to a 2-team.
Yes.
And then it went to a 4-team. It was just a vote. It took so long.
Yeah.
And now we're really on the right path. It's
Finally.
It's comical to think for 7 decades or whatever, it was done on a vote.
Yes. Yes.
Brent, if the thing called bowl games never existed, we'd have had a college playoff decades ago. Right?
Well, we should have had one.
Right? Bowl games
20 to 30 years ago.
Right,
yes.
right. But if bowl games, they were never thought of.
No.
Would college football have
absolutely
morphed into a playoff?
Well, we would have. Did you see the game Tuesday night with Montana State?
Oh my God, I was in and out. What a game.
Yeah. Now, see, we would be having that already because they've got like I don't remember the number, but they've got like 24 teams, don't they?
Yes, their playoff is big.
Yeah. Yes.
That was fun.
It was.
North Dakota won it again, and they're the bully. But Montana State was undefeated, and they made a comeback. That was a fun game.
And look, I get asked this. I know you get asked this. Terry, Brent, are the bowls going away? Look, no, the bowls will never go away. But what we've done now is, and Terry just alluded to this, we just had a major shift. Our priorities are where they need to be.
Yeah.
Everything up there, I know the bowls are over, but even before that, everything up there, and we're looking at multiple televisions here, was about the playoff.
Yeah.
And that's the way it ought to be because we didn't have a playoff for years because we tried to maintain the integrity of the Pula and Weed Eater Bowl.
I agree. Totally agree. And, you say the bowl games aren't going anywhere. You always need to add one more word now, and this is a good thing. It's not the Rose Bowl still around. It's the Rose Bowl playoff bowl.
Yes.
It's the Sugar Bowl playoff bowl.
Correct.
It's the Fiesta playoff bowl.
Absolutely.
And that's a beautiful thing.
It is.
And the Gator Bowl playoff.
Right.
Yeah.
But we finally turned the tables.
Yeah.
And when we and look, the playoffs are the crown jewel now of college football. But to the point we made is, you and I made this almost weekly and almost daily, is you've got to get the portal out of December. because we've talked more about the blooming portal than we have the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And
that's a good point. I never thought of that.
That can't happen.
And that's wrong.
That can't keep going on.
The portal should be a week-long conversation as it's happening and going on. I agree. Let me throw this out. We can continue it on the other side, and we'll come back and wrap up. And this is, again, one of those deep thoughts that we'll do this in May, June, July, kind of that time.
Yes.
But I put a lot of thought into this. And I want your opinion. I want Zach's opinion. I want you folks to think. The great game of football, we love it. The NFL level, the college level. Would our football that we love, would the game be better if the goalposts were thrown away? And while you're pondering that, I'll throw this out and we'll go to break and come back. Remind me to go to this. No more field goals. No more extra points. The kicking at the NFL and the college level,
it's routine now, isn't
everything's right down the middle.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot more boring now than an NFL field goal. Literally.
Unless they start kicking it from 70, and I'm not sure that's not coming pretty soon.
And I don't want to punish kickers for getting so good, but if you had no goalposts,
that's pretty funny.
Fourth down, you're just going or punting.
Well,
right?
Or
would the game be better?
Or would it be better if they narrowed the goalpost?
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
something's got to change. The college kickers are,
they are absolutely.
There's not a
it's
whole
routine
lot.
To kick 55-yard field goal.
The NFL, man, it was yesterday. It feels like, but we're old. Doesn't it feel like it was yesterday? But it was 3 decades ago. If a kicker in the NFL hit a 52-yarder, that was a bomb.
Yeah.
You have to make a 52-yarder.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Or your locker room's packed. Locker is packed.
Oh, yeah. I remember what a big deal it was on that. You remember the 64-yard field goal?
To bust it?
Yeah.
Would football be better with no goalposts?
That's an interesting thought.
Would it be better? Zach, put your thinking cap on when we come back. I want you to weigh in. You're slightly younger than us. What is Zach, about 54, 55? We'll get a younger perspective from Ron if he wants to play on the other side. We'll come back and wrap it up. Glad to be back, man. It feels good to be back. We've been gone here from Twin Peaks on Christmas Wednesday and New Year's Wednesday, but we are back. They're back. The place is packed up, and everybody's getting a nice warm meal before you go home and get warm. Cold weather coming, Brent Beaird.
And hoops tonight.
And, a lot of basketball tonight. Take a break, come back, wrap things up on the other side.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143-2579.
All right, Brent Beaird will be back momentarily. We're wrapping up, putting the landing gear down here as we land this Wednesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show right here on Action Sports Jacks. Glad you're with us, or have been with us for hopefully a long portion of our show. We are at Twin Peaks, Great Scratch Kitchen, double happy hour, something always going on. UFC fights coming up on the 18th. I think it's the next big one. That's a Saturday. Looking for a place to get out and watch it. This place goes bonkers for all that. And if that's in your cup of tea, you will have a good time. Zach Rothrock, I called you out a little bit. Your thoughts, would football be better if there's no goalposts? You put any thought into that during the break?
I don't know. I think fantasy football could be better without having a kicker, but I don't know about actual. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so used to having the kicker. The HBC Steve Spurrier kind of won his Heisman off of being a kicker. So like, I don't really know that I want to remove that. It is such a major part of the game.
That was back in the day when it was a 40-yard field goal he made against Auburn.
Yeah.
And that was a bomb back then.
Yeah, that was something. That was newsworthy accomplishment.
Yeah, do you see where I'm going though? The kickers have got it. There's not a lot of excitement in a field goal attempt. If the rare times it gets, and they don't block them very often, if they kick them, they make them.
I think there was at least 2 or 3 missed PATs in the NFL this past weekend, so they definitely do still miss. And the greatest kicker of all time, Justin Tucker, went through a big slump. They do miss. But, I mean, it is silly when the whole game, the whole season comes down to this guy that's barely part of the team that practices by himself and is usually just on the exercise bike, decides the whole outcome. That is kind of crazy. No other sport does that.
In the old days, and they don't allow it anymore, but in the old days, that guy you described had a single bar face mask, right? Yeah. And the bar was down here.
Yeah, this guy's not a football player. Like, what is this?
Hey, guy had no padding in his pants or anything.
Yeah, I mean, now nobody has any padding in their pants. They don't wear any knee pads or hip pads.
No.
They're still wearing shorts.
Over the years, some of the kickers, just to the naked eye, could they look any less athletic at all? It's almost like they tried to look less athletic, didn't they?
It's hard, yeah. It's hard to find true athleticism from the kicker position. I mean, it's always nice when they go to field their own kickoff and they end up getting blindsided. I believe Sean Taylor hit someone in the Pro Bowl like really hard.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah. Yeah, it always comes down to that, and that's kind of why we had this whole rule where we're protecting the kicker so they don't, go out there and get CTE every kickoff.
What do you think about the next 5 days coming up? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's a pretty good run there, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think this is got the potential to be the best weekend of football. I know that, it was potentially supposed to be a couple weeks ago when it was the opening round of the playoffs, but that's kind of somewhat disappointed. But when you got NFL wild card weekend is always pretty good. You're almost guaranteed to have at least one upset there.
Yeah.
And and it's the four. It's about. It'd be hard to find four bigger brands in college football than the four that we have total to represent the playoff.
They're four of the top 10 brands.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you say that, the top 10 brands, that's not Florida. It's not Florida State, Miami, not Miami. It is Penn State. Throw Oklahoma in, throw Alabama in.
Yeah, Alabama could represent. Yeah.
These four, Oklahoma and Alabama, USC, and that's about it in terms of true.
Yeah.
I mean, Brent, these are four big boys.
Oh, they are.
And it's pretty cool, I think, and good for the sport. We will have a first-time coach, first-time winner.
We will.
Nobody has won it.
And see, the other thing involved with this is you've got every year you're going to have, whether it's 12 or whether it's 16, you're going to have some different teams in there.
Yep.
You're going to have a little bit of parity, but when it comes down to your final four, this is probably what some configuration of this group is what you're going to get.
Brent, let's reel it back in and have a good 5 minutes here on tomorrow's game, because we won't visit with you until Friday. Give us your overview, your capsule of tomorrow's game, Notre Dame, a few days less practice time. Penn State, both teams want to smash you down the throat with the football. What do you think? We won't visit until Friday, and we'll get to do the Friday game in person.
I like Notre Dame in the game. Now, I'm still shocked that Penn State's in there, and still shocked that James Franklin. But, again, Terry, as we mentioned, when you have the draw that Penn State has.
Nice draw.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can certainly get in there without any problem.
So they're going SMU group of 5 to get in to try and win the whole thing. I thought the other night, Penn State, I thought their coaching staff, their coaching staff scares me. They opened up the game against Boise. They just run it down their throat. 2 drives in a row. Then Penn State just decides to quit running the ball. And their poor play calling for about the next 2.5 quarters was the only reason Boise wasn't blown out.
Well,
that was a curious decision by Penn State.
Listen, I love to have different levels of coaches on here every now and then to ask them questions of why, when something's working, do you get away from it?
I mean, it was crazy. And then that one drive somewhere in the second half, Penn State's right down their throat. They decide to do kind of a read option, and Aller fumbles the ball. Aller reminds me of Beck. I think Aller and Beck are both clunky, slocky.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, okay, not bad.
That they're not going to do anything real special. That they're probably, that they're both probably 10-2, 9-3 quarterbacks, which there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Now again, I think this game's played in the phone booth. Tomorrow night, but particularly. And that's just the style of play that these guys go with. Particularly if Notre Dame can run the ball.
And it looks like Love's going to play.
Yes. That would be a big help.
Those 2 backs for Penn State are nice too.
They are. They really are. Now,
when they decide to use them.
Yeah. Now Abdul Carter needs to play.
I was going to bring that up. That's a key. He is a really good player.
He really is.
Yes. And he went out early. He's a real good player. 2.5 minutes left here. Our friend Eddie says, "Don't be a Gator show, be a sports show." Well, Eddie, we've talked a bunch about the Jaguars.
Yeah, we have.
We talked a bunch about you had to talk college basketball. Had to be the Gators. It was the biggest.
Sure.
The biggest game in the history of college basketball this year was yesterday. Kirby Smart.
Yep.
The LA Fires in the playoffs. The 5 incredible days coming up.
Yeah.
We didn't do sports medicine because Dr. Bates wasn't able to join us.
Yeah.
That'll be a good game though tomorrow. And then, my God, Ohio State, Texas. Texas has a coaching staff that makes me mad when I watch their game.
Yes.
I think Texas makes some of their games harder than they need to be. They will
really
get away
do.
from stuff that works in a heartbeat.
In Texas, 2 games, they've almost let lead slip away, double-digit lead slip away in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Now, in the last game Texas played, Quinn Ewers was terrific.
Yeah.
I mean, he made some throws that you only see on the NFL level.
Yeah.
If Quinn Wisner is able to run the ball, that's going to help Texas a lot. And their defense is really good, too.
They are. Wisner is came into the year fourth on the depth chart. They've had tons of
that's
injuries,
right.
and he's a nice back. The other day in the Texas game, and I'm not a big Ewers guy. I think Ewers
understand
is
that.
average.
Yes.
He did something I don't think I've ever seen. He threw 3 consecutive scoring passes. He threw touchdown, touchdown,
right,
2-point conversion.
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. And in money time, too. They needed it.
The best pass I've seen in the bowls was Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. Do you remember the pass he threw that was about 50 yards down the field, and the receiver caught it right before he went out of bounds, about the 2 or 3 yard line?
I remember it well.
Those were the greatest throws I've ever seen.
And last thing, we'll get out of here 30 seconds. Staying with the Gator Bowl, and I love Kiffin. How about Kiffin? Jackson Dart has been his quarterback for 3 years. Been a good doobie. He's been a good leader of Kiffin's plan and offense. And they've got a good. They just look like they got a good relationship.
Oh, yeah.
But Dart did something that pissed Kirby Kiffin off. He was chewing. He was like, "Coach, I came back. I didn't have to play in this game, and you're chewing me out." All right, that'll do it. Thank you, Brent, for your time. Thanks, Patrick Young, and of course, Zach producing. We'll do it again tomorrow, 4 o'clock, our Thursday edition, coming to you live from Sliders. Take it easy, everybody.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com.